Fragile. I wanted to talk about my play Fragile, and why I wrote Fragile, and why I wrote Romans 12:20, why they are international films and plays, why I'm working on a film called Romans at the moment with Ray Winstone. There's only one reason why I write these things, because if you've read Fragile, or if you've watched the play, or if you've seen Romans 12:20, or you've heard of Romans the feature film, or if you've looked at any of my writing or any of my talks, you recognise that all of the work I do is about cleaning. It's all about cleaning. So when I wrote Fragile, I just thought I'm gonna access every fear, every shame, every anger, every guilt, every envy, every jealousy, every bullying thought, every possessing thought, especially the shame. I'm going to go deep into those fathoms of shame. Everything that I've ever done that I feel ashamed of. You know, when that voice says to you, if they knew this about you, if people knew that about you, they wouldn't think you're such a good guy. If people knew you did this, if people knew you'd said that, if people knew that you were, you know, violent, or that you sexually abused yourself, or that you thought such negative thoughts, they wouldn't think you're such a fucking good guy. They wouldn't think you're such a guru. What I recognise that all of these old scripts were like scars, or like hungry ghosts feeding off me all the time, bullying me, blackmailing me, stealing my energy. I decided that the only way to get rid of those was actually to bring them to light. What we bring to light becomes light. We're as sick as our secrets. So every secret I had, every shame I had, every guilt I had, I decided to write into the narrative of this play. It did two things. It enabled me to find a narrative to my confusion, because there was lots of cognitive dissonance, lots of confusion in me. And it also allowed me to bring it to light and clean it. So all of those things that said we're going to blackmail you know, if people found out this about you, all of these things that created divides or demons in me, I'm going to bring them to light. How can they blackmail me if I've already told everybody about them? So I wrote everything. I went into every crevice, every corner, and it's took me 40 years to get to this place. This didn't happen overnight, and I've built myself up to doing it. Every single thing that I'm ashamed of, or that's made me feel guilty, or you know, that's where I feel angry and rage, I've written down in this play. It's just one man on a stage talking to a tape recorder, and he's recalling the time that he was abused as a boy. Not just about the time he was abused as a boy, because lots of people have been abused, and we know that's unfortunate, and we know the damage that can do. But this isn't just about this boy being abused or me being abused. It's about the aftermath of that. You only have to be placed out of kilter that much when you're 11 or 12 to, you know, if your cognition is placed out by a millimetre at the age of 11 or 12, you're going to be out by a country yard by the time you're 40 or 50. And you're going to have a whole lifetime of consequence that have been caused by these actions. So at the age of 11 or 12, when somebody says the world cannot be trusted, not even the people you love, especially the people you love, that is a very powerful perception. A very powerful perception, and your whole life is, your whole life unfolds according to that belief. So writing this play for me is about tracing the steps backwards, counting backwards, as I said in one of my other films, going back to that time and writing it on paper, not just what happened, but also the consequences of what happened, how I became violent, how I developed all my war paint, and all of my, I got rid of all the prettiness, and built up all this armour and the ability to kill people in about 50 languages. I write about that and say this is what happened when I was 11, and this is the consequence. This is how it made me very violent. This is how it made me abusive towards myself, sexually abusive towards myself. This is how it made me, wall-to-wall shame, front to back rage, so much rage that spilled out into profound and prolific violence on nightclub doors in Coventry. So I've written Fragile as a way of cleaning. So all of that stuff, I've gone through all of the things that happened and all the consequences that happened, everything, every corner, every crevice with my cleaning stick. I've written it into this beautiful piece of art, this play, and we've put it on the stage. And every night when it was on in Coventry at the Belgrade, every single night I sat and watched the last 2 acts to clean myself, to show that these things weren't true, that when someone said the world can't be trusted, that wasn't true. When they said people you love, when they said that your friends can't be trusted, that wasn't true. When they said that the world can't be trusted, and when they said that the people you love, especially the people you love, can't be trusted, that wasn't true. Writing this play was me looking at that, a bit like cognitive behavioural therapy, and disproving it, cleaning it, going in there and cleaning it off the perception, renewing the mind, as it says. I think it says, St. Paul says, renew the mind so that God can potentialise through you. So it was cleaning my perceptions, cleaning my cognitions. I was able to do that. And you know what the biggest thing I found was? I didn't trust this guy that abused me. I didn't trust the people who suggested it was my own fault that had led him on. And there's a great line in the play, a really great part in the play where the guy's talking and he's got dissonance and he's saying, what do you mean did I lead him on? I was 11, I was 11, I was 11, I was a boy, I was a fucking boy, I was a fucking boy. And it's really just delicious because he's got this massive confusion about what's happened to him. And he has to keep repeating it in order to clear it. So the whole play is like a delicious cleaning fest. And after I wrote the play and after the play came on and, you know, thousands of people came to watch the play and in watching it helped me to clean it and watching it helped me to purify it, I felt this massive expansion of love, this huge expansion of consciousness, this overwhelming and unconditional love for everybody. I felt that because I cleaned the shit out. I went in there and I took the guy that abused me and I cleaned him. I forgave him. That's how I cleaned him. I exercised him. The person that said, did you lead him on? I cleaned them from my perception. And you know, all of the different things that went wrong, all of those false beliefs I was given at a young age, I cleaned them. I cleaned all of them. That's why Fragile is a powerful play. Not only because it cleaned me, but because it allows people who are watching to think, if he can say this, if he can admit this, then I can admit it as well. If he can talk about it, I can talk about it. It creates a huge allowing. So it cleans them, it cleans me. And it gives other people permission to clean themselves. It gives other people permission to talk about the things that have happened to them. So this is a powerful play. It's also Romans 12:20, which you can watch on my website, free. That was about the metaphysical power of forgiveness, but from a muscular stance. And the film Romans that I'm doing with Ray Winston is based on the same thing. It's like hitting this subject matter from lots of different angles, just continually cleaning. So what you bring to light will become light. What you keep as secret will make you sick. So it's having the courage, just little by little, as Muhammad said, step by step, a little at a time, bringing it out, bringing it into light, exposing it to light, letting it become light, and cleaning. In Ho'oponopono, they say we are just here to clean. We think these things are stuck in our body, they are. All of these memories are stuck in our body, and in our cells, and in our mind, and in our perception. But actually they're stuck on our soul. When we're abused as kids, or when even when we're abused as adults, you know, even if the abuse is inadvertent, it sticks to our soul. And when we bring this stuff out into the open, when we talk about it, when we express it in an anabolic and therapeutic way, it cleans it from the soul. The soul cleans, the body cleans, and we're able to expand. So I'm not sure when this podcast is going to go out, but if you get a chance to read Fragile or watch it when it's in Edinburgh, it's at the Edinburgh Festival this year, 2014, and the film with Ray Winston will be out hopefully very soon. We're shooting 2014, November. It's just to recognise that we're just cleaning. We're just cleaning. So all of those things that you're worried about talking about, clean them. All those little secrets that you've got, clean them. Even if you just write them on paper and then burn them afterwards, bring them from your repressed place or your suppressed place. One of the quickest ways to do that is to meditate. If you meditate consistently, these things will start to clean on their own. The moment you sit in stillness and complete silence, these things, these secrets have no place to feed, have no place to hide. Because the moment we sit in meditation, light hits us from every single angle and gets into the crevices. So it's just an opportunity to clean. And remember, that's what we're here for. Just keep cleaning, keep working on it. Have a look at Ho'oponopono. It's a good Hawaiian shamanic art. It's really interesting. If you get a chance to read Fragile, it will create an allowing for you to write about your stuff or talk about your stuff. And in talking about it, clean it.